Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 15. Oh, God, trying to remember numbers. 15 of Random Encounter, doing the Abomination Vaults, using Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and all the rest of the stuff that we love and enjoy. I think I'm gonna touch wood here a little bit. I'm gonna lay down a claim that when this goes out tomorrow, we will have one day left and then some of us will be doing all of this sort of stuff again, but on a stream. Honest, I'm gonna, we kind of thought that might happen last time, and we didn't say anything. I'm tempting fate. I'm gonna say we're gonna be doing more of this. Yeah, we've got a couple of announcements. Let's put it that way. So the first thing to state is Friday the 8th, both all of Kess, JJ, Becky, and myself will be invading another RPG streamer, recorder, podcaster, whatever you want to put it, for heavyweight gaming. The man that does it all, and too much quite often. But in either case, he has decided that he's going to run the latest AP, Quest for the Frozen Flame. He asked us to put together a small gang, and there were a few people that I knew could do it, and we've jumped on that opportunity, and I've dragged a few people kicking and screaming into this as well, for even more role play, because we're all suckers for punishment. But we are going to be hopefully doing that and starting at level 1 and working our way through, and that'll be every other week apart from when it can't be. That's quite simply that one, because it's live and it's streamed. There will be a couple of occasions where that 2-week gap becomes a 4-week gap, just because of holidays and other things like that. But so that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I want to say is we have like the best and most amazing friends in the world ever. And specifically in this case, I'm talking about Dando. Dando has done a bit of artwork for us, which you should all be able to see on your screens right now, because you should notice the fact that each of the little player tokens, which appear in the bottom left of everybody's screen, have changed to be hand-drawn, lovely pieces of artwork. Now, Dando has some social media presence, but not a lot. Neffy, Becky, can you remind me? Neffy, Becky, you're right there. You've got the horns on. It's difficult.
Yeah, Dando's Instagram is at Starkey Studio. Starkey spelled Starkey. You can find them on Instagram.
Yeah. So they are, for various reasons, ridiculous on many levels. These hand-drawn drawings are wonderful and beautiful and fantastic, and we love them very, very much. But Dando also does prop for LARP, clothing for LARP, various different levels of goodness knows what design and everything else. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in more or less anything from a geeky hobby side, Dando is probably capable of designing it and making it for you, and it's scary how much that they do. And I just want to be really, really clear on this one. She works off of a shoestring budget, with shoestring budget materials and well, not shoestring budget materials. To be fair, the materials are fantastic, but off of a very small personal budget, with very, very simple hobby level kit, but produces stuff which is way better than simple hobby level designs. We love Dando very much. Certainly, myself and Becky, who are reliant on Dando for some new LARP kit coming fairly soon. So yeah, there's a whole heap of stuff going on there. But yes, so Dando, absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for what you have done. These tokens are brilliant, and I have immediately swapped out all of the tokens for them. There is also stuff in the pipeline for Anchor for when Anchor gets back as well. So I will have everybody will be sorted, and it'll be wonderful. So yeah, we've done a lot of off camera to this start of this one. We've done a heck of a lot of off camera because this is the first opportunity these guys have had to be back in town and to do all of the sort of shopping and everything else like that, which is kind of a staple of being an adventurer, certainly on these sort of dungeon dive type adventures. But probably not the most interesting thing to record. Let's face it, probably not the most interesting thing. There are a few bits and pieces which we want to touch upon. We're not going to completely wash over this. There is some stuff that's going to happen. But the actual monetary calculated, how much gold have we got? We've got this, okay, we've split it this way and this way and this way. We've not done any of that on recording. Just wasn't worth it. But we are going to do little bits and pieces that are going to creep in terms of what we're going to do for this session. And don't worry, we'll get back to the Gauntlight Ruins at some point soon. But it's nice to just kick back and relax and have a bit of a session in town and a little bit of a wander around. Is there anything anybody else wants to say? Anybody got anything
At this point?
No? Okay then. Well, under those circumstances, with any hope, all of the music is about to work perfectly well. It hasn't done so far. Every blooming time I've checked, there's been something wrong with the music. But I'm hopeful. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going for it. Everything should be on the right channel and everything should be recorded. I've got no way of knowing until I get to the end of the episode. But hey, so if anybody has got the Sirenscape up, they should start hearing some music and a little bit of stuff going on. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for those that are doing it. We return to Rin's Wonders. You've been sat round the table having a conversation with Rin, and fundamentally talking to Rin about all the stuff that you've found. You've been highlighting bags upon bags of swords and spears and blow darts that you've had to pick up from the floor, and bits of leather armor that you've taken off of the odd dead body and thing that you found round the ruins. And you've also been showing her some of the slightly more interesting things, the statues, the pieces of jade that you found, the peridot that you found. And Rina's been sort of sat there listening to these tales. Not really quite what they were expecting in terms of the stories that they were hoping that would be told to them about the wondrous things that you found in there. Although mention of sort of like the corpse lights that you fought and the mitflits that you fought not only raise eyebrows from Rin but also a little bit from Inver, because some of these things are definitely within their knowledge base. Undead creatures, spirits and ghosts. And when the whole thing of the kobolds that rose from the rubble in a ghostly form came about, that definitely caught a couple of people's attention, and there's been a little bit of conversation about that. Rin has rather graciously said, well, look, you're not going to be able to probably take too long doing all of this. So if I take all of these off your hands, I roughly know how much they are worth. I can give you the gold now, or offer you items out of my own supply if you are interested in any of these. But otherwise, I can make it known that these items are that you have credit, as it were, with me, and then people can come and trade for what you have brought back. I'm sure a little bit of recuperation and preparation in order to make sure you have whatever you need to carry on. I believe from what you have said, you are more than willing and more than ready to progress further in, although from what I have heard, Anka is kind of occupied. What happened at the cathedral last night, it has shook up a number of the people at the cathedral. They seem to wish that one of their few holy warriors were to stay behind, at least for a little while, to make sure that they are protected in case the Gauntlight does, well, whatever it did again. Inva, I asked you to come here because I thought you could help these people. These adventurers, they are brave, but they are young, and perhaps a little foolish, although, Phelan, I am sure you have been trying your best to keep them in line. Perhaps a little bit more support, a little bit more thinking, and a little bit more knowledge may well be of advantage. Would you be willing to assist?
For now, certainly. You know what I'm trying to do overall. But I can spend some time here now.
That is enough for me. As long as the rest are willing to have you with them, of course.
I'll see the harm in it. Extra body
Yeah.
can't
I
hurt.
feel like I've just been given a stepmom, and I'm okay with that.
You hear
Well,
stories about stepmothers.
Yeah, you're not redheaded. You're not the redheaded stepchild.
That's not the stories I've heard.
Now. Needless to say, from what I can see here, there is a considerable amount of money. Otari is a kind of peculiar town. I have a sizable amount of resource that I can purchase these things from you for. And the reason is because Otari is so used to adventurers passing through. We have quite a bit of coin, and the way that certain individuals work in the town means that as a resident I am quite safe to have a large sum of money within my premise. The adventurers tend to mean that this town has more items of interest than perhaps you might expect. We tend to have a number of higher level quality items. I will tell you now, the best blacksmith, in fact the only blacksmith really in town, you wish to find the shop for Blades for Glades. I believe you may have met the individual that runs this before. He's a little full of himself. But Kamen Rajani is, well, he is at least a reasonable man in terms of his skill. Has a certain amount of ego, though. Believes he should be in charge of the town itself. Has a bit of a bitter taste in his mouth. He has lost 4 mayoral elections already. In either case, he is the best person for you to deal with for weapons, armor, tools, all of these sorts of things. He probably will have them. If you wish for something of a little bit more cerebral nature, Odd Stories is a very nice and simple shop. Perhaps not got the most adventuring gear, but there will be the odd bit here and there. It is run by a very old wizard, or at least old in terms of use of his skill. He gave up quite a long time ago. But Mullibint is at least clever. and fairly determined to expand his repertoire of books. He may have, if nothing else, some interesting questions for you now that you are starting to head deeper. There are so many rumours about what may or may not be hidden in the depths of Gauntlight Keep. If you wish for just simple general items, then you cannot go too wrong with the marketplace. Perhaps if you wish for something a little bit more alchemical in nature, then the Dawnflower Library itself, or even going and talking to the druids around the Stone Ring Pond, may be your best choice. But I think potentially you might need to decide amongst yourselves what you think you need.
Well, we're going down the hole. I have every intent to go down the general store. Last I remember, they were well stocked on knockabout gear, climbing equipment, things like that. With a breastplate, if we're going to go down deeper, I'm going to want a little bit more coverage. That's definitely me with the blades. Yourselves, folks?
I want to
would
pick up a couple
honestly
of things
like- Sorry, go ahead.
I want to pick up some things I can throw. I got stuck in a little closer than I like to in that graveyard. But I'm easy other than that.
So I was going to
Nothing?
say it'd be really good if we could have some healing. Like, I can't pick people up. So if I could have something that can help me pick someone up, that would be really useful.
I'm sure we can find some potions somewhere.
Yes.
A little bit for everyone.
Something simple in terms of healing potions. Both the Dawnflower or the druids will have something like that. But it sounds like, at least to start with, you need to go and see Carmen, and I wish you well on that journey. He is dour at best, annoying most of the time, definitely full of himself. But, yes, it is... He will have something, I'm sure, that will catch your eye.
Good. As much trade comes in, I imagine. I would hope there's not too much call for heavy armor.
You would be surprised.
And ominous.
This town is a starting point for a lot of people's journeys around the Isle of Kotos, and there are many things here. If nothing else, the Whispering Tyrant died not too far from the walls of Absalom, and there are still undead around there of great power.
Point taken.
So, where are you guys heading? Are you headed straight to Blades, or are you thinking of potentially going further afield first?
I like to imagine that Neffy knows the guy. So has decided not to go there.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, both Neffy and Phelan know of Carmen, and you know him to be an obnoxious man, at best.
Mm-hmm.
But he is really good at what he does.
Oh yeah, but I imagine she'd probably pee him off something rotten, so it's probably wise for her not to go.
Can't imagine what you mean.
The stepmothering has begun.
Okay.
There's two of us who wanted weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, so we're going to have to go there.
Yep.
So are we potentially having a bit of a party split with two people going off to the blacksmiths and two people going off to find some potions? I think that's probably the best way of doing it, isn't it?
Mhm.
Sounds like a plan.
So
It's
we
a safe enough town in daylight, right?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
although now we've got the two non-locals together and the two locals together.
It's fair
So
to
I
say
guess we'll find out how much the Pie Mistress wants for her protection racket.
But one of the non-locals is a big ooking orc.
there is also that.
True.
Blades for Glades is a pretty big blacksmith's. You see outside the front of it quite a number of saws, axes, other tools that are used in the lumber trade arranged around the entire building. And this is not a small building. This is a substantial sized blacksmith. You can hear a constant run of noise coming from inside. The place seems to be run by a number of apprentices doing quite a lot of the work, but there is a man stood at the front sort of desk of this thing. He's how best to put this? He looks, when you look at him, he looks bitter. You know, he's got that sort of demeanour about him that he is just not really. He's not really a fan of people. And he's not really a fan of anybody else. He's just got this sort of air about him which makes you sort of dislike him. He's rough. He's got this thick, oversized beard, this curly mass of hair on the top of his head. He's wearing a blacksmith's apron. He's quite, you know, he's got a blacksmith's build, but it also looks like potentially he allows his apprentices to do most of the work because he doesn't have the same stature in terms of, he's not as thin as he used to be.
What's the lighting like in there?
It's pretty open. The front of the shop is fairly open to allow smoke and other things to pass through, although there are a number of chimneys popping out the top. You can tell that this building is designed to shutter up fairly well, but it's also, you can open it to allow a lot of airflow through, just to keep the place from, you know, being too hot. When you get in, there is an area sort of around the front where all the people are working under these sort of eaves, and a slight overhang, and then the rest of the shop is full, absolutely full of weapons and armor on racks and various other bits and pieces. And he looks at you as you come in and he goes, "Yeah, what do you want?" Come on.
So he's looking at both of us in between, or at one or the other?
He's mostly looking at you, to be fair.
Well, let's be brutally honest. I'm walking in here with less metal on than is one of your cross stands over there. And I'm inclined for a bit more.
As you look over at the cross stand that you've just sort of randomly picked, you look over, and just before you get to it, you see another stand, and the armour on it is pitch black. And it's got curved spikes on it, and this grotesque looking face built into the chest plate.
And I'm going to very, very carefully.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You've suddenly gone quiet. What's up?
There's a set of armor you've got there that I haven't seen since a couple of weeks' travel away in the north, worn by some people who would be very curious about the fact that it's sat in your shop.
They won't be that curious, mate. It was custom made. That was a commission job. Of course, the bloke that commissioned it then got himself properly killed by the Whispering Tyrant, so it's been sat in my shop for blimmin' ages. I've got no blimmin' use for it, but it's there. I mean, yeah, alright, you wear black armour. Are you one of that lot, are you?
At some point down the line, I will be,
Tell you what,
currently just an armature for them.
you guys are the kind of people that, even though you go and get yourself killed like idiots, still you're the kind of people that I can completely appreciate and understand. Yeah, you want a bit of order and a bit of sorted out of the place. I've been aiming for that in this town forever. Will they blimmin' listen to me? Will they heck? I should be running this place. Anyway, Bitter, I don't know you very well, shouldn't be laying all of this sort of stuff on your plate. But I tell you what, if you ever think this place is not being run properly, you just come and tell me. And I promise you, we'll sort it.
Any run-ins with Longsaddle then?
Yeah, Longsaddle. He's decent enough guard, isn't he? But he doesn't want to run the place. He doesn't want a position of authority or anything. That idiot that's in charge of this place, Menahill, he's not Menahill. I can't get the blooming name right. Hang on. Menhems. That's it. There we go. Menhems. He doesn't know what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. His entire family have not known what they're doing for generations. But for some reason, always getting in blimmin' charge of this place shouldn't happen. And look, seriously, don't ask me about that. You came in asking for business, and I'm a businessman. So, come on, what we after? Because you've obviously got your eyes on it. You're more than welcome to
but
it.
That's not yet. I'm not allowed it. There's a couple of reckonings to come before then.
Not allowed it. I mean, come on, it's just a suit of plate armor.
More than just that. In order to wear that, one of my guys, one of my kin, one of the people I want to be, I'm on the way to being, has to go toe to toe with a demon on their own with no support. That is a trophy and a statement.
You're right.
That is
Whatever.
everything and a threat in one.
Okie dokie. Look, seriously, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a black suit of plate armor. I've got other plate armors. Look, here, easy to adjust, easy to set up. Oi, Goffrey, get over here. Help this man try this stuff on. And this sort of lad comes out. He is hulking, absolutely hulking. He's got massive hammers in both hands. Well, tongs in one, hammer in the other. And he goes, all right, puts these things on the side, and then just lifts this entire suit of armour up. Come on then, let's try and get this on you.
Let's get in it. And Moz will basically just quickly uncinch, or as quick as you can, the breastplate, drops it down, keeps his padding on, and starts to work himself into the gear.
If you're going to buy this, are you wanting to keep the breastplate?
We'll consider it an upgrade. Bit of a trade-off.
Alright, fair enough. Can cope with that, that's fine. Not a problem. And, I'm guessing you're either hanging around or you've got business as well. What's your deal?
Invel steps back out of the shadows, slightly surprised, to be fair, that he'd noticed. I want some throwing knives.
Yeah, alright. Any knife can be thrown. I'm guessing you want balanced ones, yeah?
That would be the throwing knife rather than the eating knife.
There's not that much difference, just so you know. About made the same, just a bit better balance. That's about it. Anyway.
I know what I'm at.
Yeah, alright. Come on. Over there,
I
on that
might
side...
take a spear as well if it's not too much trouble for you.
I've got tons of them. Blimey.
Fine.
Yeah.
5 knives and a spear.
Throw knives over that side. Spear.
Lovely.
Yeah, spear's right in the back corner.
She'll wander off.
Mostly because they can be leant against a wall then. Anyway,
He's noticing there'll be a slightly jagged edge to bits of her shadow as she goes. That doesn't quite reflect her
yeah, alright, you're a bit special.
outline. No, but if he notices.
No, he spots it. If you're coming in here where there's all the light coming round, it's blimmin' easy to spot things. There is so much light in this space. Dead easy to see everything. You're a bit strange. Whatever. Okie dokie. Right. After probably 10 minutes, because it's the first time you've had this thing put on and adjusted, you come out in this full suit of plate. it's a bit weird. Fits
Mhm.
pretty good. It's fairly generically made, and yeah, more or less sort of shuffle that in. That seems okay.
It'll take a little bit of getting used to. A little more strength needed for this set. Yeah, I'll take this in a set of lamp black if you've got it. Any sort of black oil.
Really? You want it lacquered up black?
I'll
Why didn't
take
you
it.
just
I'll
buy the
keep it to
black
myself and
one?
help you. Because of what it is.
Gee, you're weird. All right, fair enough.
Hey, I didn't. At least I didn't ask you for limestone wash. I'll be asking for that down general.
Whatever. Yeah, we can lacquer it up. It's easy enough.
Yeah.
Takes a bit of time, but yeah, we can get that to you. What exactly do you need this for? I mean, we don't. It's not exactly uncommon for us to have adventurers coming through here, but what exactly are you guys doing?
Well, yeah. Well, most of you are probably aware of the trouble up by the graveyard last night.
Yeah.
We're gonna go poke the rest of it.
I mean, that's what most of the boys over there are doing, fixing shit. You're gonna
We're
go.
going back into the land.
I mean, question is, did you set it up in the first blooming place? Of course, by being there.
Rin said something was coming. She sent for me,
Rin says that
my
things are
friends,
coming
and a couple of
every
other folks.
week. It ain't different or new. The fact that she summoned
of course,
you
this is
from
right.
across the blooming sea, that's a bit different and new, I'll admit that. But, and from wherever she got your friend from. Yeah, alright, look. There's stuff here, blacken it up, no, whatever. Yeah, we'll put an oil over it, fine. Yeah? I mean, it's standard price, 30 gold. And I don't bargain before you blooming try, especially with people I don't know.
Sounds fair. Rin's holding some equipment that we recovered back from the Gauntlight. So something that I'm understanding is probably to the tune of around 60 or so gold, maybe a bit more than that. If you're happy to take her word and credit, we can walk forward, leaving the breastplate here as a starter and deposit.
You know what, Rin's been around for 4 years. I can pretty much trust her. She's a bit kooky, but she's fine. I'll send one of my boys over. I'm sure they'll pick up a decent half of metal that we can at least melt down. Yeah, that's fine. You've left the breastplate. Jamie, just go over to... Yeah, you heard. Yeah, Rin's. Just go. Alright. Nothing too rusty.
Knowing exactly what half the gear is.
Alright. We'll go with it. How much stuff are you picking up?
Invar comes back with 5 knives in one hand and a spear in the other.
Really? I mean, you're pushing the boat out there, aren't you? 15,
You're already-
15 silver for the knives and 1 silver for the spear.
She'll fish it out of her pocket.
Oh,
Hand it over.
proper coin, at least there's that. You've got my respects for giving me proper coin rather than trade. Alright, fair enough. You want anything else? I'm assuming it's not just the two of you going into this thing. You're all kitted out, yeah? Got your runes carved on your items. What else?
Got a friend who's going to be taking care of a rune or two for me, or some other equipment.
Fine.
Invar,
Right.
do you know if anybody else needed any equipment from here?
I believe so.
Right. Well,
What's on your mind with the concern about leadership in the town then? Go on.
Look, I don't have
Never
anything against the family. Menems is fine. Yeah, they were part of the original, part of the Rose Guard, but so was mine as well. Decent ancestors going back in time, and I just don't think at the moment that the Menems should carry on running this place for, well, goodness knows how long they've been running it. It's time for something new. It's my birthright to take on that. It needs to change.
Would you change if you were mayor?
For a start, I'd send some people down into blimmin' warrens under this town and get rid of whatever kobolds are still left down there. They've been causing enough problems. You know all about the thirsty alpaca over there, over the river. Pretty darn certain that has collapsed because of kobolds, and they've done nothing about it. Blimmin' glowing orbs around there, like that's a blimmin' reason not to go in and have a check. Anyway, I mean, let's face it, Rin is the person sending you off to this Gauntlight. I bet you haven't heard from the mayor yet, have you? Bet he hasn't come to say that you should carry on doing what you're doing. And believe me, I think if you're going to clear out that place after what's happened, and you didn't set it off, let's make sure you didn't set it off, of course. But so long as that's happening and you're dealing with the place, then good on you and support of the town. Well, sort of. I mean, you could do a little bit more to prove to me that that's what we should be saying. Anyway, look. As it happens, the town is... it's weak. It's not got a good leader. That's my opinion.
I'll have a
What's your
conversation
take?
in the future then. No, go ahead.
What's your take on the legalised, or at least agreed and managed targeting of outsiders and leaving the townspeople alone?
Moz will make himself busy somewhere else.
I'm assuming you're talking about the Osprey Club.
Yeah.
Only somewhere else.
Look, dearie, as much as I can put down some edicts as the mayor, if I were ever the mayor, that's the garrisons to deal with. And to be honest with you... No. You see, law in the town, putting down laws, writing them down, saying that the Osprey Club can't happen and all the rest of it is fine. But if the garrison isn't willing to enforce it, and, more accurately, if you end up dealing with a situation whereby you piss off a whole bunch of thieves in a town, I tell you what, that protection goes both ways. That's all I'm saying.
I wasn't asking whether you'd stop it or not. I asked what you thought about it.
It is what it is.
Useful to know. Alright, thank you.
So, we head away from the blacksmiths and we move to two other people wandering away from the blacksmiths at haste to make sure that they didn't have to deal with that. Where are you going? Are you going to go to the Dawnflower Library, or are you going to head up to the Druids to see if they have what you might want?
I would like to try and catch up
Alison.
with...
You bring out the other two.
Other two people.
Sorry. Okay.
Had two thoughts. One, I can imagine Phelan wanting to go and see the Druids, so that kind of makes sense. But my other thought was the Dawnflower Library might be a place that they might have information about the Gauntlight ruins, but also there were loads of books there in the, the outhouse where oh, what was the name? You know what I mean? The outhouse where he had all his notes and he had loads of books, and the little creature had kind of read them all and stuff. So the library might be interested in that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. It's a reasonable thing, reasonable assumption, but that doesn't tell me where you're going. It's...
Me hypothesizing two things.
Indeed, neither of which.
Where direction?
I am not the parent here.
Fine.
You're all acquainted with the stepmother. Okay. The internet can just draw that. It's okay.
So,
Wait, you think children don't have opinions? My God.
There's a, and I'm sure there's a professional line, and
right.
Nope.
While Neffy is hypothesizing loudly, probably with both hands,
Yeah.
let's go up to the pond and get some potions from the druids.
Okie dokie. So, you head up the hill. The route is a bit convoluted. You effectively you have to head out to the east and then cut yourself back round to that side. But you easily see this large stone circle with the pond in the middle. You've been here before.
I need a funicular.
Yeah, you've seen a whole bunch of this, and dotted around the area are a number of druids, but the main one that you are kind of really mostly interested in is a small gnome called Warlywin. She is, you know her. She's idealistic. She's a standard gnome. She's over the top. She's excitable. She kind of looks at you coming down the road and almost sort of hops over towards you. Oh, Phelan, are you back? Oh, wonderful. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Oh, just kicking about, really.
Oh no, come on. It's gonna be better than that, I'm sure.
Well, ghostly kobolds, huge spidery things with teeth.
What? What? Oh, come on, you've got to tell us more. What's this? Where have you been?
Oh, just been to the Gauntlight ruins.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, something about the end of the world. I can't be having that. I mean, I keep all my stuff there. The world, that is.
She giggles quite happily. Yes, exactly. I mean, obviously, we've not heard of this sort of stuff before. Is this something to do with what happened last night?
Yes, and we kind of like to stop that happening again.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Well, I can understand. Hang on, you're going back?
Of course.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Sounds rather exciting, I have to admit. Okay. Well, how can I help you, I guess? What can I do? We have a few bits and pieces kicking around. I will admit, probably a bit difficult to sort of pry them off people. But I don't know, really. What sort of stuff would help?
Well, ideally some healing potions.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Because accidents happen. And,
Okay, well, we've got quite a few of those, to be honest with you. What sort of power? What sort of strength? What sort of power? I've got a couple. I think kicking around. We've got we've got some minor ones kicking about. Maybe some lesser ones as well.
I think there are 4 of us, so four minors and a couple of lessers would be ideal.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Just in case of emergency.
Yeah. I think. I mean, just for the materials, time to make them, a little bit of money just to keep the area nice and
Of
natural
course.
and all the rest of it. I mean, I think if you went into town, they'd probably ask about 30 gold. Is that right? No, 40 gold. 40 gold sounds right. 40 gold. 16, 24. Yeah, that's right. 40 gold. 40 gold. Yes, definitely 40 gold. that would just cover any extra bits and pieces we can't get from around here. You kind of
Oh, yeah.
understand that, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Some of the herbs required are a bit difficult to find in the woods here.
She sort of rushes off. You see her dive into one of the tents. All of this sort of stuff gets thrown out. There's like bits of alchemy kit get shoved to one side. A climbing kit gets thrown out to one side. A rather nice looking staff with an ornate head on the top of it gets chucked out the door. Oh no, hang on, I shouldn't probably do that with that one. That's kind of difficult to make. Oh yes, here they are. And she comes out with it looks like what we would say these days is like a milk bottle crate. It's wooden sides with the divided internals. And she puts it down and goes, yes, there's 4 of those. And you wanted a slightly bigger bottles. Those are those 2 of those that you want for that too. Yeah, those should do you. If there's anything else you might want, just send people this way. I assume it's... Oh, I'm sorry, Neffy. I'm sorry, I barely saw you there. How are you?
Always amazing, so I'm currently amazing.
Fair enough, then. I mean, that's reasonable. I think... Yeah, no, that's reasonable. I'll go with reasonable response. Reasonable response. Hi.
Hi.
Is there anything you want? Are
Well,
you two together?
Phelan.
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's what the
okay.
potions are about.
Okay, oh, right. Of course, 4 of them, but there's only 2 of you. Hang on, 6 of them, but there's only 2 of you. Is it that bad in there? Are you needing, like...
There's 2 other people. There's 4 of us in total.
That explains the 4 smaller ones.
There you go. And
Yes.
we don't know how long we're going to be out there, and we don't know what else we're going to find. So it's better safe than sorry.
That's true. Yes. You know, the Ruins is the only place I ever didn't visit when I was looking for, when I was looking for, you remember Jarl, at least the name of Jarl, don't you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I never went up there. I didn't. So...
Well, I've not seen any sign of him so far, but they go down a fair way.
Okay. Look. Seriously, if you ever find anything of him, it would be really helpful. Kalino is still a little bit... about us. So...
I've spared him one ass kicking about that. I may have to spare him another one before the day is out.
I mean, I prefer it if you don't do that kind of thing to him.
You mean I don't spare him an ass kicking, so I give him an ass kicking?
No. I prefer it if you didn't ask kick it. Well, I suppose that's what you're not doing.
Yeah.
Look, no, just... It's difficult.
How many double negatives can we get into a sentence?
It's just... Look, don't think about giving him an ass kick. There you go, that's what I want you to do. Not even think about it.
Okay.
So just do it.
No!
I will.
Ass kicking sponsored by Nike.
Just do it.
Let's do it.
Other brands are available.
Just leave him alone as much as you can.
Oh, it will be fine. At the end of the day, he is a businessman, and I need to conduct some business in his immediate vicinity.
Okay. Well... Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
anything else?
Ow. No. But in regard to settling up for these, may I impose upon you to go and have a word with Rin? She has she has an amount on account for us.
I've not had the need to go and see Rin for a very long time, and I have to say, it's very exciting. Okay, no, that seems fine. I'm sure talking to Rin will be fun.
I'm sure it'll be quite an
is.
experience for you.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else?
No?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
I don't think there's an awful lot more interesting stuff we can afford.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fair enough. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, I'll go talk to Rin. Probably a bit later. Are you heading off again today?
That's an interesting question. Depends how other things get sorted out. We've got a few chores and things to do in town before we set off.
Okay.
I have a feeling it'll be tomorrow morning that we set off.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay then. Bye.
Bye bye.
And she sort of just hurriedly dashes off to somewhere else. You then see her hurriedly turn around, run back to the tent and start pulling all the stuff back in that she threw out the first time. And then she starts running back off again wherever she was going.
Sometimes I think I could do with some of whatever she's on.
Is there anywhere particular that you agreed to meet up next?
Oh, we never agreed anything.
I don't know. But I need to go to the market.
It seems a likely overlap point at this point in time.
Yeah.
And with a couple of other bits and pieces that you all need, you head off down to the market. The market is an absolute mass of people. There are loads and loads of folks wandering around this area. A number of marketplace stalls that are selling fruit and veg, and you've got the standard sort of barkers that are shouting out, the various prices of things and bits and pieces. And Phelan, with your sort of like bit of coin in your pocket, it's dead easy to find the stuff that you want around here for all the various other sort of food items and cooking ingredients and pots and pans that perhaps you kind of pick up and you go, well, that might be useful. We'll have that, and you pay the basic price. But there are also a number of stalls sort of tucked in the shade that have a couple of slightly different items. A few sort of things that are not necessarily prohibited or frowned upon. They're just not your run-of-the-mill marketplace items. What sort of things are you going to be looking for while you're here?
I'm mostly looking for cooking ingredients that will travel. So flour, parched grains, lentils, spices, that sort of thing.
Yep.
For cooking things of an evening camp that are a bit more tasty than travel rations.
And that's a pretty simple thing for you to sort of dig out. You do note a rather portly gentleman that you recognise, large sunbrim hat that he's fairly commonly known for wearing. I believe he. Let me just dig out the stuff for him. I have a feeling. So yeah, he's just a bit of a portly man. This wide brim hat, and he's eyeing you and generally keeping away from you. He's doing everything he can to avoid you. Most of you know this to be Kalino, whose wife was killed by a former druid known as Jarl, who went missing shortly after the murder that he committed. Most people believe that Jarl is dead, but Kalino has been holding on to the idea that he probably isn't, and wants his revenge against the Druid Order for what happened. What about the rest of you? Where are you all headed?
I want some holy water. I'm going to be heading somewhere to try and find that.
The marketplace probably doesn't have that, but you do know from what you know of the Dawnflower that you'll be easily able to just pick that up from there. And I'm quite happy to breeze over that a little bit, because the Dawnflower's got quite a busy morning at the moment, dealing with multiple dead bodies. So when you kind of rock up and say, I want some holy water, they kind of go, donation boxes over there, holy water's over there. It's this much per vial. Please don't mess around, all right? Let us deal with this lot. So that I'm gonna brush that one aside ever so slightly. Is there anything else anybody else is picking up?
Grappling gear, climbing gear, falling down a hole and I need to get out gear.
This is all pretty simple stuff, and there is a couple of market stalls for it. We've already dealt with the prices for this.
Yep.
Anything else? Was there something that Neffy needed to buy?
I need to get some lockpicks because.
Oh, hang on.
Oh no.
So, Neffy, what did you need to pick up?
I need to get some lockpicks because, as a rogue, I should have some to start with.
So, you have a look around the marketplace and you do find a stall selling it. The thing that bothers you ever so slightly is as you walk up to this stall, you immediately see the mark of the Osprey Club up in the top corner. All right, darling. Yep. What can I get for you?
Now, we've had this conversation before, and I'm not your darling. I would like some lockpicks.
Look. It's not an insult. You do realise that, don't you? I just Yasmira doesn't like me bad-mouthing people in the club. All right, it's just a pleasantry. Okay. Lockpicks, you say, yeah? Got those, no problems, absolutely fine. Standard price though, my dear, you are not yet quite up in the echelons, you see. So have to charge your full price, afraid.
Then she says it through like gritted teeth and just thinks back to all the pie she's eaten, and it makes it feel better.
Yeah, as well as that, yeah, just so you know, I think you've got a tab, my dear. You might need to resolve that at some point. Just, yeah.
I think, didn't we pay that last time? Did we pay that last time?
I
thought we did. Thought we did. Make it go away.
Yeah, we made it go away, I think.
When did that happen? When was that?
Like last night?
Last night?
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, big problem with that, of course, is I haven't been back in the tavern since this morning, so I wouldn't have known, would I now? No? See?
Well, I forgive you then.
Okay, hang on, what?
So lockpicks, right?
Lockpicks, yeah. Lockpicks. What's happening here? I'm not sure what's going on. I just a moment. Hang on, I've got to get my brain back in.
Do you have any O's?
What? Hey?
We need some candles. We need some candles.
4 of them.
I need 4 candles. 4 candles.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I can give you some. Well, not give you. No, I'm not giving you some lockpick. No, I can.
Three
gold. 3 gold. That's what I want. 3 gold. There you go. Give money for things. Stop.
Do you mean trade it? You're not
Yeah.
very good at retail malarkey, are you?
Just look. I'm here not to. Well, you know what I do. Just
I do know what you do. Sure, you're not going to knock a little bit off for me.
I'm blooming
piece of
certain
grass.
because it would be me that had to pay it, and I'm not paying it because there's not many tourists around it. I mean, other than you, I'm not. No.
Moles just starts to walk by very slowly.
Is Moss rubbernecking as well? Like,
Just
And in full flight.
very curious about something explicitly not potentially illegal, just right next to the possibly illegal things. Just
Look.
very curiously looking at things.
Look. Seriously, here's your 3 gold. I'm done.
oh, thank
No,
you.
no,
for the gold and the
no, hang on. No, wrong way around. You're confusing me. Give me that back and your 3 gold. That's 6 gold. Or you're not having these.
Could have gotten away with that.
Just give me money for lockpicks.
Is that daylight robbery? Is there robbery occurring here? Is there something illegal occurring that perhaps?
No,
someone
he
who-
gave it
who-
to me.
Oh, he gave you money. That sounds like a donation to a good cause, considering we're going into the gauntlet.
I think so too, because we're going to look for his missing friends.
Mm-hmm.
How much is his hide worth again when it's still on him and breathing?
Well, as long as he's not trading in illegal goods, it's absolutely fine. Otherwise, I might have to tell Captain Longsaddle, and I might get awkward.
One of you give me an intimidate roll.
I'll leave that one to Moles.
Yeah.
Can I have advantage due to the sheer amount of shenanigans, please?
I'll yeah, I'll let you roll it with fortune, which is to roll effectively with
Fortune.
advantage.
The best was an 8 plus 6, so 14. Probably comes
Aw.
across more playful than offensive.
Yeah, look, as much as the man in the plate armor is intimidating, I'll have my 3 gold back, and I'll have the 3 gold for the lockpicks. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very
I'm just
much.
pulling your leg. That's what happens when you call me darling.
All right, darling. There you go.
So tempting to go round this circle again.
See, the problem there is I've got my 3 gold back and your 3 gold, and you've got lockpicks now. I ain't going round in circles.
Fair. That is a fair point. Now, do you have any letter O's? And then that's the rest of our conversation. It's just Neffy just pulling his leg.
Go away.
We're known as the tummy settlers with the 4 rennies.
Equipped with all of your new items, and with the sun still only really rising on this day, are you going to head off now? Or are we going to unwind in town one more day?
Didn't we have to wait for the rune transfer
might have
thing?
to have a conversation, yeah. Myself and Phelan might need to have a quick chat. It's all right, Squire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Considering this morning star, he says that's all checking. It is a morning star, not something
It is.
else.
No, it is Morningstar.
It is a morning star.
Well remembered.
It's a dangly thing with a big ball on it. It's so good.
I saw
Yep. It seems to me this is a little bit more potent in some ways than my halberd, but I think it could benefit from some of the carvings on it.
Yeah.
Across. That's something you could be able to assist with.
Should be able to.
Okay.
Might need a few bits and bobs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Cool.
with a little bit more of an expenditure of money, you pick up, certainly around in various places, the tools that will allow you to try and transfer the rune over to the halberd. This is a crafting roll. The item itself is only a level 2 rune, so it's not massively difficult to transfer over. It's going to take you the rest of the day to do it, mind you. I do need a crafting roll though, and you need to beat a 16 in total to get this to work.
Okay. So, I've got about a 50% chance. Yeah, how's 20 do?
20's good. 20's good. So you sit for the sort of the rest of the day. You get yourself a little bit of workspace, probably either going back to your tavern and finding a little bit of space outside the back, or maybe going up to Rin's and using the space that she's got for crafting. And you slowly but surely, meticulously unravel the magic that's carved into the Morning Star, and then slowly but surely carve it back into the metal and the wood of the halberd. And by the end of the day, Mosrin is now bedecked in full plate with a +1 halberd in hand. You all are kitted out with healing, and as the sun goes down, you notice for the first time in a long time that the gauntlet is dark. There is no blue light. And at that point, you drift off to sleep. Not entirely sure if you're more comfortable with the fact that there's that change, or slightly confused as to what might now be happening. And at that point, we're going to take a break. We're going to end this episode. We're going to move on. And next time, I think we'll probably go back to the ruins and see what we can find. So, goodbye everybody. And we'll take a break and do the next recording in just a bit. But bye-bye for now.